Today we are talking about something that many homeowners do not realize is happening in today's housing market. More home purchases contracts actually are getting canceled in January 2026. Across the country, we actually see the highest January cancellation rate in years. According to Redfin data, we see about 13.7% of pending home sale fell out throughout get canceled in January, which is the highest January level since we are going back nearly 10 years ago. A lot of news pronounced that they start wondering, is the market crashing? Are the buyers disappearing? Or is there something happening? And today, I want to show you what the data says nationally. What are we seeing here in Phoenix and specifically in Chandler, Arizona, and most importantly, what the home sellers can do to avoid deal fall apart. With that, let's start with looking at the national data context. All right, the first thing we are going to look at is the national cancellation rate in January. In front of you right here is all the rate of cancellation in January of each year. We see that 2026 is 13.7%. Okay, back in 2017 and in 2018, the cancellation rate is only about 11%. Over time, the cancellation rate has increased and affordability become more sensitive. That number, this cancellation rate right here has grown to the number that we see today. That means 13.7%. That means roughly about 1 out of 7 deals fell through before closing. What does that mean to be fell through? Because when a seller accepted the contract, that doesn't mean the end to the transaction, right? The buyers still have a lot to do during the due diligence. They need to do inspection on the home. They need to, do the appraisal on the home to make sure that the purchase price is, meeting with the appraised value. And then they have to finish the loan as well. So there are many things that could happen during the transaction if the buyers find out that the roof is too old, right? And the seller is not willing to do anything with that, or maybe the buyer find out the foundation has a problem, right? They can very well cancel the contract. In fact, they can cancel the contract for any reason during the inspection period that's written in the contract, okay? Some metro area is actually, have a higher cancellation rate. Number one is actually San Antonio in Texas. And number two is Atlanta, Georgia. Number three is Cleveland over Ohio, right? And number four is Riverside, California. 5, 6 is in Florida. 7 is in Las Vegas. 8 is in LA. And 9 is Houston, Texas, and 10 is out of Florida. So we see that Texas and Florida and California a lot due to cancellation, right? Surprise, because a lot of people actually, in my opinion, this is a surprise because a lot of people are actually, moving from Arizona to Texas to Florida because of the home price. Because of the home price is so low compared to Arizona. The same $300,000 house in California, in Arizona, you may have to come up with like very old, but in Texas and Florida, you may be able to find a newer house and a bigger house and things like that. But the cancellation rate in both states is higher. My thinking is during inspection period, maybe they find out that the property tax in those states are generally higher than Arizona, or maybe the insurance in Florida is generally higher than Arizona. I don't know the detail because I'm not too familiar with the Texas and Florida number, but could be one of the reasons. And I will share with you some of the reasons that Arizona property could get canceled as well at the end of this video. So stay tuned, okay? All right. So how does the Phoenix though? How does the Phoenix? I mean, obviously we're not in the top 10 of the uh, cancellation rate, right? But what does that look like? Okay, so right here in front of you is a chart of the Phoenix data. Okay, this is provided by the Contract Associates. Now the blue line is the number of accepted contracts, and the orange is the cancellation contract. Okay, keep in mind that this is the entire Phoenix area. Okay, right now, as of today, we have 2150 in 1 week. Okay, 2,159 home under contract, and about 367 homes that get canceled within a week. Okay, at first glance that might sound concerning because that is almost, let's say, almost about 15%. Okay, 15% cancellation rate. Okay, but the key things to understand in this trend is this: if we look back several years, Phoenix typically sees anywhere between 250 to 400 contracts fall out each week. Okay, so we are average about 250 to 400. During the slow market period in 2023 and 2024, okay, the cancellation rate is actually dropped to 200 to 300 per week. Surprise, right? A lot of people think during those periods we have more cancellation, but no, we actually have a lower cancellation rate compared to the normal cancellation, right? Now, nearly in 2026, we have 300. We kind of see the range about 350 to 370 cancellation per week. So yes, cancellation rate is a little bit higher than 2023 and 2024, but they are well within the normal historical range that we see in Phoenix housing data. In other words, this is not an abnormal market stress. Instead, it reflects a market where buyers are simply being more careful and selective in today's market. And they have the right to do so, and they have the advantage to do so as well as a first-time home buyers. Okay, I'll show you a couple of reasons, a couple of things that you need to take care as a seller as well to eliminate the risk of cancellation in couple stock. Okay, now what about Chandler? Because let's talk about Chandler because I'm located in Chandler, so I always curious about Chandler data. So similarly, there's a chart right here. The blue line again is the number of accepted contracts per week. The orange line is the number of cancellation per week. Okay, we see that as of the latest data, we have 83 homes that getting under contract, while 18 homes is actually back on the market, canceled. Okay, so typically the weekly cancellation usually fall within 8 to 15 homes per week. That's a long-term historical rate. Okay, so the current number of 18 cancellation is on the higher side of the range. Okay, but still within the normal fluctuation we see. Not like crazy like 28 or 38, right? And it's important to look at this together with demand. Okay, because at the same time we have 83 homes still went under contract that week, which is still a very important number because that's actually at a higher number if you look at the slow year of 2023 and 24, right? The buyers are still active. They are simply more selective in today. So very similar to the entire Phoenix area, specifically in Chandler, right? The rate of cancellation is higher because the buyers has the right to do so and they have the negotiation power nowadays, right? So they tend to make that decision very, what's the word that I'm looking for? Very mindful about their affordability, about their future homes. If they find something that they don't like, okay, they're gonna go ahead and cancel the contract. Okay, so the biggest change in today's housing market is not demanding based on this data, we can see that demand is not disappearing. We see that 83 homes getting under contract within a week. That's a lot, okay? It's the buyer's behavior. Back in 2021 and early 2022, okay, the market was extremely competitive, if you remember at that time. Buyers are waiving inspections, so there's no cancellation opportunity for them. Right? They come in, they get under contract, they can do the inspection. Some of them don't even do the inspection, right? They can do the inspection, but they have no rights to cancel. They have to accept the condition as is because they're willing to waive the inspection, right? They were bidding over our price, and then therefore, because of the so competitive market, they're afraid if they cancel, they cannot get the next house. But in today's market, because it's more balanced, the buyers are actually more like reviewing the inspection carefully. They negotiate the repairs, right? They also evaluating the financial more closely and making sure that the number works before committing. Okay, so the increase in the cancellation is actually the sign of a normal, more like a normal, a balanced market, not a collapsing. So even we see 18 cancellation in Chandler, or 367 cancellation in Phoenix, or 13% increase, 13% in cancellation rate across the country, right? Those are the representative of the normal and the balanced market, not a collapsing one. So as I like to say, the market isn't breaking. It's simply returning to the normal negotiation behavior. Okay? So why the contract fall apart? A lot of questions, right? So here's some Arizona specific reason why the contract could fall apart. Inspection. Okay? Inspection issue is in today's market, the buyers pay closer attention to the condition of the home. If inspection reveal the problem with the roof, with the AC, with the plumbing, even with a small leak, right? Or big problem like foundation problem, the buyers may choose to walk away because they do have other options, other inventory, other home available on the market for them to choose from, okay? Or maybe they're facing financing challenges, okay? Even with pre-approval, final underwriter can cover income and documentation issues. For example, I do have the problem with one of the transactions right now. We never find out that the underwriter want a specific bank document for my buyer's CD account, right? Which I never heard of before. Right now, we are working on get that document from the underwriter specifically for this situation. That's so weird. There's many things that could happen in the contract as well. But as long, like as of right now, we're working on that and we're just waiting for the bank to send the document. But that could be a hiccup during the transaction as well. The appraisal gap. For example, a lot of home sellers still putting, the home on the market so high, and they pushing that, forcing the buyer to go under contract at a higher price. And now, when the appraisal comes, it doesn't meet that, and the buyer cannot get the loan, and therefore they have to cancel, right? So that could be one of the reasons. And the last is the buyer hesitation. With high interest rate, right? After they find a house, they do the inspection, they find out that the interest rate go higher, and it's like, then they have to reevaluate the affordability, they have to evaluate the monthly market, the monthly market update, the monthly payment, right? And they change their mind. That could be another reason as well. So how does the seller reduce the risk of cancellation? So here's a couple of reasons. Here's a couple of ways. Number one, you have to price the home correctly. Overpriced home attract buyers who later realize actually the numbers don't work. Even if you get lucky, okay, that maybe you don't get any offer because the buyers also very, looking at the number very careful nowadays. But sometimes you maybe get lucky with an offer, you go under contract, but then later, during inspection or during appraisal, as I told you, they may choose to cancel because the number just don't work, okay, and they back out, okay. Number two, you have to prepare your home before the listing. Many deals fall apart because inspection reveals issue that the seller didn't expect. Okay, there's some repairs that we could do before to prevent the stress on the buyer side. Okay, and therefore they will, when the buyers see 100 pages of inspection, they're gonna be more worried about receiving the 10 or 30 pages of inspection. So the last problem they find during inspection, it kind of gives them the incentive to stay with the transaction. Okay, evaluate the strength of the buyer. Okay, before accepting any offer, it is good to talk to the buyer agent and also the lender to see whether the buyer has the financial in place, what kind of down payment, is it cash, is it a CD account, is it a gift, right? Is there any potential of job loss in the future? Those are the questions that we should find out to see whether they are the good buyer or not, potential buyer or not, and any problem with the financial. Right? Number four, last but not least, then manage the inspection period carefully. Most of the contract actually cancel during the inspection contingency. Negotiate on the repair smartly, okay? Instead of no right away is one of the key to keep the contract still in place. Okay? So thank you so much, everyone, for seeing today's episode. If you're thinking about selling your home in Chandler or anywhere in Phoenix metro area, you want to understand how strong the buyer demand is. Or you want to sell, like what your home might sell for, the price to sell your home, right? How to structure the deal that actually close. Okay, so just feel free to reach out, request a city-specific market update today, and I will send the report to you so that you understand the specific local area so that you can make the right decision. Thank you.